We haven't talked about this, but Tom, there's no motor vehicles, right? This is
unless they're authorized.
How would they be authorized?
We've talked to the city and the school, and if we have a handicapped individual that wants to use a motorized wheelchair, or you know, the new scooters that you're seeing out and about, they would allow that.
Okay.
Special permission for a motorized golf cart if you've got seniors that are handicapped to the point of.
Sure.
We really do want to get them out and enjoy. As Tom said, it's more than a trail. It's the entire ambiance of the woodlands and the landscapes and the flowers. And
the overall thought behind the no motorized vehicles were ATVs. They didn't want people riding ATVs up and down here because it's not as enjoyable for walkers and people on bikes and strollers to have ATVs.
Well, we have hundreds of miles of ATV trails too. Yes, so. We don't have that many miles of paved bike pedestrian pathways. So, okay, all right. We're going down to the elementary school here. Oh, it's just beautiful here.
Again, it's a strengthening and maintenance of leg muscles and also some balance. Maintaining balance.
Both legs, I would think.
So are they supposed to go to every station?
Yep, you can go to every station, or...
Oh, they're different heights.
Just different heights to accommodate.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got a skateboarder. Hey!
There you go.
Well, it's fun. A man, his skateboard, and his dog. All right, so as a group, we're coming down to you can see the elementary school ahead of us, right? Hey, Tom, tell us about this portion of the trail, and you had a lot of considerations other than just the bike path. You also worked with traffic patterns here at the elementary school, parking and egress. And
I guess how this whole thing started, if I had to go way back 5 years ago, there were some issues with picking up kids and dropping kids off at the school. And at that time, Mrs. Eaton was the principal here. And it started basically as this. I walked in her office and said, maybe we can work together and find a solution and redo your front entrance here. And then after some brainstorming with the school officials, it kind of said, well, yeah, and maybe we could connect the schools. And then it was like, well, we got a new school coming, maybe we could connect that school. So every month there was some more brainstorming going on, and it just started as easy as walking into someone's office and say, this is kind of a small idea, what do you think of this? And all of a sudden we've got all this stuff, and everybody tacked on their good ideas, and everyone tacked on their good efforts in fundraising, and this has become a really nice facility for the community. So
we have the leg raise, and then you can do the higher one.
whoa. So Len, we were out here a few weeks ago. You were working on you and the Kiwanis were working on the station, right?
The Kiwanis provided all the labor for cementing the posts in, assembling. Some of it was pre-assembled by the manufacturer, but there was a lot of assembly that was done by the Kiwanis.
Right.
Gosh, we must have spent a total of maybe 5, 6 total working days by 8, 9 individuals pouring cement.
They had quite a crew out here the day we were here. So Sam, how's that feeling anyway?
It's a little harder than a normal sit-up.
Hey Tom?
Well, I was just saying it's really nice when your bike paths connect to a playground also. I mean, it's a destination, it's not just a bike path to nowhere. It's really adding points of interest, giving people a reason to use the path.
Just emphasizing that same kind of theme is that this is a path that interconnects infrastructure that's widely used. It just makes it more accessible.
And not only that, this path ends at this neighborhood over here. Over the middle school, that neighborhood's better connected to the high school than this school without having to go around. And like I said, the city hasn't got sidewalks everywhere in the city, and you hate to have kids walking on the road and all, so this is a good compromise. So I think it's a safe compromise.
Okay, so Tom, this was part of that stimulus dollars, that grant, and what do we have here?
This is where the kids come on their bikes. They park their bikes here, and it's covered, so if it rains during the day, their bike's not all soaking wet. So it's a nice covered storage for them. And also, parents like to wait for their kids when they get out of school, so the parents like to sit here and wait for their kids to come out of school, and it gives them a place to sit and communicate with other parents. The sidewalks here were strategically planned. Before, the kids used to have to cross the traffic, and then they'd go walk at a diagonal through this middle median area. Then they would cross traffic again to get to the school, so they were crossing traffic twice. So one car would meet the kids here, and then it would meet them up at the stop sign there. So now the kids just come around and they avoid all contact with vehicles, so it's a safer place for them to get here.
Okay. And this was part of that grant that developed the pedestrian bike path, and
you can see vehicles up here crossing where there's two stop signs where there's on a daily basis the city of Spooner had a police car up at the road there making sure people kept their traffic down. And there was also a crossing guard. They had needed 2 crossing guards up here too, and now we've alleviated the need for all the crossing guards having to walk back and forth. And with the radar detection signs, people naturally keep their speeds down without having to have police presence.
And you were saying the radar detection signs are also part of the grants.
Correct, part of it.
And basically they tell motorists how fast they're going, and it has a speed limit right next to it, so you can gauge whether you're going too fast. And I think most people are going too fast and probably need to slow down a little bit when they come by the school. It's another safety measure, really.
Yeah, the incentive was we just want people to look at this and say, hey, this is safe, and I don't mind having my child walk to school. I don't have to drive them. I don't mind having my child ride his bike per bike. So it's giving people a sense of safety is the goal here.
So we're going back, we're leaving the elementary school, going back to the main path. It's real pretty out here. Len, you just mentioned something. Tom, I think you agreed with it. Another feature of this trail is that at each end, at the city park, elementary school, ballpark,
yes,
high school, there's a lot of parking at each of these outlets or trailheads or whatever. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes.
How important is that for this facility, for this path?
I just think it's extremely important for people, if you want to come with groups out here to walk. You have a place to put your vehicle, and it's right there, and there's a comfort level there.
I mean, there's a lot of parking. We're not just talking 10 parking stalls. There's
a lot of parking.
There's quite a... You could get a lot of people out here.
Yeah, I think other than the utilization by the schools, I think the general public probably would be significantly decreased utilization if they didn't have the parking. I know the senior population, if we were going to just walk from your home...
Is anybody with a sports team or anybody wanting to do organized team exercises or whatever could bring a group out here, right, Tom? And
oh, yeah. I
mean, from anywhere, and spend a half day here just working out. And in the wintertime, right over here, where is it? We have a ski trail here. Like, how long is our ski trail? It's about...
I believe they have 6 kilometers.
6 kilometers.
Maybe 4 to 6 kilometers of trails here.
Okay.
So the ski team, and they're just a little over the edge there, so we try not to conflict with them.
Okay. Does this path cross the ski trail at all?
Yes.
At one spot, but then they abandoned that spot. It was, just a little tiny spot, and they made their trail a little different, so it works out.
So we're in the vicinity of the ski trail. So if you come out here in the winter, now you can use this path, you can use the fitness stations, but you can put on your skis and ski for 6 kilometers.
Yeah.
So here we got the dog looks like it's tired out there. I gotta tell you, this is one of my favorite vistas right here. The trail going through the woods. I see you're smiling. You like it too.
I do like this. I mean,
look at that. We just gotta stop here. Look at that.
The goal for me when I design a trail is not to go straight through, because it gives you a freeway feeling. And in this way, I found some trees that were really, I thought, worth saving, and I went around them. And there are certain guidelines. You had to have your curves meet certain speed criteria, and it looked a little funny on the plans when the contractor says, "Well, can't you just go from A to B and just draw a line?" I said, "No. I would like you to curve around these trees and just give people a sense of, I don't know. To me, it's just a prettier vista."
This is a Robert Frost vista, I call it. Where, you know what I mean?
It is.
Where, I don't know. For some reason, I always think of Robert Frost when I'm on this portion of the trail.
Because when I approached him, just do it. Just do it. We got it. Let's utilize it.
So we got another fitness station here. I think we'll wait till we get this. Sam, I think we'll wait till we get the sun. We can see you better.
Okay.
Wow, it's just really pretty. Look at it. It looks like that road just goes off into the sky from here. Sam Dell's going to demonstrate another fitness station. Hamstring stretch. Okay, that's one.
It's quad stretch and hamstring stretches on the posts.
Back in the trail here.
Walking this a few times. Let's start exercising. Do these stations.
Yeah.
Let's do one, and then the next let's do two. Well, let's do them all.
Yeah.
It kind of grows on you.
Actually, when we go to Florida, first day that we're there, we usually go early in the morning. Every morning, first day we hit the trails, we do the simple ones, and usually by day 10, we're trying. I mean, we can't do them, but we're trying.
Let's stop here, except with we're at the city park. We're looking at the baseball fields here, and the path goes right amongst the three fields, right?
Engineering-wise, this is very difficult. You can see over here, trying to fit the curves between all the ball fields. They had certain design speeds for them, and then you had to raise the soil up on one side, but you didn't want to raise it up too much, and then they're too close to the fences, so we had to do a lot of refiguring around each fence and keeping the fences far enough away from people.
Did you have to move the fields at all? Are they exactly where they were before the path?
Maybe some of the fences changed a little bit.
Changed a little.
But the ski trail now comes out over here, and then part of the project was to put gates, so the ski trail goes actually right through the ball field.
Oh, okay.
In the wintertime, so there's two gates, so they can get up the hill that way. So they were nice to work with. The ski trail.
But it looks like it was designed this way in the beginning. I mean, it really does. It really looks so nice. Doesn't it, Len? It doesn't look like it was an afterthought, or it came later, decades later after the fields.
Everything was laid out beforehand and plotted and planned and
landscape.
Perfect.
You did a good job, Tom. This is really, yeah, it looks really good.
I guess the difficulties were like you come up with the plan, but some people wanted it down there, and then some wanted it up here, and so then people are very passionate too about what their thoughts are. So this finally was a nice happy medium. I think it worked out well.
Again, it's like you're right next to these fields. It makes these ball fields just more accessible to the public. So this is a upper hamstring stretch and a side stretch, and Sam's going to show us a little bit. Okay, we're right amongst the ball fields here in City Park. We got 3 of them, and this is where this path goes 3 different directions, right? Tom, you were just talking about the parking being very helpful for parents with young kids. You said this field over here is typically used for
that's for the minor league baseball, or else the t-ball type activities, and a lot of the parents have kids in strollers and they want to watch older sister or older brother play ball, so it gives the path is nice. It's better than wheeling on grass. so it gives people, and usually grandmother or grandfather like to walk down here too and watch the grandkids play ball, so
just makes it more accessible again, everything more accessible. Which way should we go? This way, this to the parking lot, and then the path goes around the back side of that field to the street. Right this toward calf stretch. Again, a lot of stretching stations here.
And many of the stretching stations we anticipated to be most people accessing from City Park area. And so many of the stretching areas are located around the beginning of the stations that are adjacent to the City Park. This is the last station.
Oh, this is the last station.
Yep.
Oh, so okay, we got. Oh, attention release station. Congratulations, it says. You are at the last exercise station of the Fit Trail.
It's laid out so that as you start from the entrance, you'll stay on the right side of the trail and do all the exercise stations on the right side of the trail throughout each of the spurs. When you get to the high school, you'll turn around and come back and catch the stations on the right side there and end up right here for a congratulatory message.
And we're heading this way. We're heading towards the street. This is College Street up here, right?
Right.
So Sam, we gotta get your comments. What do you think of this? Your dad designed this. He must be pretty smart, huh?
He is.
What do you think of this path?
It's nice. Hard long hours spent out here.
What do your classmates say about this? I mean, this is rather. It hasn't been here that long. Are they using it?
Yeah, I'd say yes. Most people are using it.
Good. It's really. Say we're coming here and. Well, you know, what's also kind of nice is that if there's a game going on, you can walk basically on the back side of the players and kind of view the game and a stroll.
Yeah, actually, when we were installing the Station 16 down by the soccer fields at the high school, the guys were watching more of the game at times, and the cement was splattering further than any other station, so they were enjoying the sport as much as they were the work.
And I think that's kind of a revelation for me being out here with you two guys is just getting a better understanding of how this facility does tie into all these other activities and connects the city better now and gives you better access to these facilities we have. Is that
well, what this does here is this 5-foot path lines the bike up so they're on the correct side of the street and they go down College Street, and then this side is for people entering.
Okay, so this sidewalk here on College Street that goes all the way down to, what's the next street? The intersecting
Elm
street?
It's Elm, yes, College and Elm, and then the corner of College and Elm is where you approach the middle school.
So this sidewalk is part of that stimulus grant as well, right?
Correct.
And I remember there was some concern about putting in the sidewalk, because there wasn't a sidewalk here. And there was some concern about narrowing the street. And you can look down there, it appears to have adequate enough space. So that those fears really didn't come to fruition that people had. How did you resolve that? Because I know you were aware of that, but how was that resolved?
They moved part of the sidewalk on people's land and part was in the street. Mm-hmm. The good thing about this, though, is people didn't get assessed higher valuation. They have to pay for the sidewalk themselves. This was all part of, it was a free sidewalk for the residents. So I think it's kind of fun. A lot of the residents here were it was understood, were a little afraid of this new thing coming into their neighborhood. But when I come out here, I see a lot of the people that live on College Street using the sidewalk and going for their nightly walks out here.
Right.
It's used a lot by the residents here. So it'll be interesting what their thoughts are now. I mean,
right.
hoping it's positive.
Well, that's an interesting phenomenon, because I remember this, one of the first planning commission meetings. There was a lot of opposition to the sidewalk, not to the path so much, but just to the sidewalk and what would happen to the street, because people kind of wanted to leave it the way it was, and there was a naturalness about it, and it still is as you can see, it's a very pretty street. I mean, but it makes City Park a lot more accessible, doesn't it? And the whole, obviously, we have this beautiful trail system now. And here's the engineer we have to thank for that. Tom, his idea, and Len from the Kiwanis provide the fitness station, and our model, Sam Dettel, an athlete. So.